Not talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
I'm not talking unless y'all giving me likes, commenting, and subscribing. You hear me? hmm Well, hey, B. Listen, we're back. I want us to have a quick talk about Married to Medicine reunion part 3. I am so glad Married to Medicine is done. I'm just, girl, I'm ecstatic. I'm so glad this season is over. Like it had just been too much. And child, I hope that I'm not gonna feel that way about ATL, Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I feel like they're doing a whole lot of too. I mean, like whew, the girls are fighting. All right. It's just too much. Okay. Make sure you're checking out my previous videos on the matter at hand, because when I tell you that it's a lot, Miss Britt, I don't know about you, girl. I don't know if you're gonna be back. I don't know, girl. It's giving hood. It's giving a little piece of hood. But anywho, that's not why we here. Okay. You got real hood down at Married to Medicine when we saw Quad, go off on Simone, tell her to shut the fuck up. And Simone responded right back to her, telling her, no, you shut the fuck up, okay? You gave us your ass to kiss. Okay, and we hung out with Greg. Girl, I'm screaming. Okay, I will never forget that. That's going down in history. Yes, history. You gave us your ass to kiss, and we hung out with Greg. Comical. So Jackie takes Simone into a room, and can I say that Jackie pissed me the fuck off, and Jackie would have got cussed the hell out if I was T, 1000%. She's telling T as T is in the room, like, give me some time, give me some time, give me some time. And as T is turning to leave, because T is like, okay, she says, I need you to go. It was in that moment that I would have spunked around. Y'all remember when Simone said to Toya, do you? With your raggedy broke ass. Y'all saw how quick Toya flipped around like what this bitch said? That would have been me. Okay? That would have been me. All right? Don't use this passive aggressiveness at this moment, bitch. Any other time you don't be having shit to say. Any other time you don't raise no tone, you don't be doing too much. Now you want to do too damn much. Ain't nobody even do nothing to you. Why you all why your emotions all hot right now, bitch? Okay, because I would have cussed Jackie ass the fuck out. I wouldn't give a damn about what kind of doctor she is. None of that. She would have got her ass cussed out like the human being that she is on that day, 1000%. So, anywho, let's get to Toya. Okay, so Toya talks with Quad and tells her that Simone felt like she wasn't there, so she befriended T. And Quad was like, oh, that's some dirty shit. That's some dirty shit. And then Toya says it wasn't, and tells her to respect the fact that she even told her. The reason I feel Toya told Quad that it wasn't nothing dirty was because they bout had already been hanging with her. Okay? They bout had been already hanging with the lady. I think Quad just never expected them to bring her on the show or something. Like, of course, like Jackie said, I'm sorry, like Simone said previously, Cecil and Dr. G, from my understanding, still had a relationship. Obviously, Heavenly and a husband, Dr. Damon, still had a relationship with Dr. G as well, as he's referring patients over there. So I'm sure those guys still got up at some point. And with them having wives, I'm sure as they met T, I'm sure they likely probably met up with T before they got married. I'm sure. And then after they got married. Right. So it just, I mean, they already was on the outs feeling away with Quad. I think they never considered bringing T onto the show out of respect for Quad. But when they felt like they wasn't respecting her, they needed to get back at her or whatever the case was, they used T to get on the show. I feel like the friendship or the familiarness with T was already there. So that's why I feel like Toya was telling her it's not dirty. Because they been hanging around her ass. They been around her ass. That's why it was comfortable for Simone to be like, we brought around who we was fucking with, because they was already fucking with her. They just never, I guess Quad probably saw herself maybe in a higher regard with the ladies, that they wouldn't try to bring her on the show like that. Right. But either way, that's what that was. Okay. Um, Dr. G is asked why he told Quad she talked too fucking much, okay? And he does admit and says that it was dumb on his part, right? Um I feel like Quad needed some type of response because I don't care what anybody says. I still stand by, like Cecil said. I'm so glad he opened his mouth and said something. You can't just sit up here and say what the fuck you want to say. Think ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you. Period. I don't care what nobody talk about. I don't care how you move it, rearrange it, whatever. All right, she over there being drunk. You over here praising, talking about your man, and you're so happy. If you're so happy with him, worry about the IVF journey that you're gonna go on. Okay, you don't have to mention anything about and we gotta have a baby Lunsford, honey. We gotta have a baby Lunsford, and I'm planning the baby shower. I noticed that when Quiet talks about the situation, she doesn't want to admit that. So Gregory had to bring that up at some point, and I'm glad that he did. Right? Because if you know that you and King hunt you 15 times a day and you know y'all trying to get it in and you think that he's this great of enough guy for you to want to have a child with, then I just feel like that focus should have been on King. It shouldn't have been, you shouldn't have even said anything about I think she's the perfect mate for my husband. Who cares? Who fucking cares? Whoever he, as long as it ain't you because you chose to leave him, any bitch could be the perfect one for him. I don't give a damn. It ain't got shit to do with me. Okay? And I feel like a lot of people want to put excuses on the fact that, oh, Quad was drunk. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Like, Quad was drunk, but if she wasn't drunk, she wouldn't have said, I don't know what the hell she would have did. Because when she wasn't drunk, she did weird shit, went over there and hugged the damn man. So I don't damn know. When she wasn't drunk, she still showed ass up at the girl bachelorette party Gibson told. Like, I think she was overdoing, trying to show that she was okay. Whole time, she really fucking wasn't okay. Like, I mean, I don't know, but whatever it wasn't authentic. And I just felt like people give her a pass because she was drunk, as if she wouldn't do that if she wasn't drunk. And it's like, girl, just focus on your nigga. If he is all this you say he is, chest open, this and that, like, I don't have to talk about what you gonna see, and you see it. You see it. You see it. You see what it is. I don't need to say anything else. You see what it is. Now, granted, if questions are being asked, okay, about the sex life, or whatever it was, I think, yes, answer those questions honestly. If they take offense, that's their personal. So I definitely agree with Quad at some point in the reunion when she talked about, like, I don't have to pacify this man's feelings. Like, that ain't my nigga. Like, I don't have to worry about, like, that ain't got shit to do with me. What he got going on, that's him. Like, I'm Gucci this way. Okay, I don't owe this man anything. So I definitely agreed with that, but for me, I just feel like it was fault that could have been had on both sides. And Gregory admits that it was dumb on his part, because honestly, my other part is this: if you know how Quad is and how she can be when she is drunk, I do feel like, man, let her go. All right, oh, okay, let her go, do her thing. Like, okay, girl, no, girl, okay, you got it. Okay. That's what let me pause this real quick. That there we go. But that, I feel like he could have just let it ride. But also the problem was T adding in her 2 cents. I will say that there were times I'm like, T, just let them fall, like whatever they stuff was, like, that's them. You're not in their marriage. You haven't been, like, or whatever it was, like, you ain't even have to say that. Especially when a motherfucker drunk. They making a fool of themselves. You ain't gotta, like, you got it. I'm not gonna help you. I'm not gonna help you look stupid. You got it on your own. Anywho, so Dr. G is asked, but as I said earlier, you can't keep saying shit, because honestly, any person that's drunk, when you see drunken videos and we watch body cam footage of people that's drunk, we see a lot of different stuff. It's not too many people that's gonna be able to be inebriated in a space, being drunk, and think that ain't nobody finna say something to that. So, like, at some point, people gonna say something because they getting annoyed. But anywho, so Dr. G is asked about how he talked to Letitia and says that he was wrong and owes her an apology. That's what he said. You definitely owe her an apology, but how much do you truly believe that you are wrong? If you are really wrong for your actions, then that means if you all continue to be on this show, it's going to show, because we're not going to see you carry yourself in the same manner in which you did previously, and even potentially with Quad. You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of how you've shown yourself up in that past relationship with Quad, in my personal. So we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we'll have to wait and see if that's actually true. If you really are regretful for your actions, and if you are going to show changed behavior, and when she's trying to show that she loves and supports you and have your back, if you're going to do the same thing and support her in the same fashion. Okay. King hops in and says that it doesn't seem like an issue. No, he said something about something about it doesn't seem like it's an issue because it's the same aggression that you've shown towards women or whatever. So King is, in it, and he's pretty much on Gregory's ass. And for me, King was getting on my damn nerves this reunion. I feel like every time Gregory says something, for me, King has something to say. And I'm like, King, baby, they got you thinking that you're winning right now, love. And the moment T and Gregory step aside, they gonna dig in your ass. Period. Like, it's just like everybody on this show has their time, and you will have yours. Okay, so it's something about King that is a bit off. I don't know what it is. Not saying that I don't hope he's a good partner for Quad, but I don't know what it. I don't know. It's something about him. I'm not fanned out like some people when it comes to him. But let's keep going. So very performative, as I've said before. So King says he went back to what was familiar with him because he also talked to Quad like that. Okay. And he wasn't wrong. Okay. I don't think he was wrong in that moment. Annoying as fuck, yes. Wrong, not necessarily. So they discussed the charges, right? King says that he talked to the cops and they told him that they told Greg to pretty much stop wasting their time. And Greg is like, what you talking about? Like, I dropped the charges, or I chose not to move forward with the charges or whatever, but I definitely had a case. And King is like, for what? Like, yeah, you ain't having that. They're like attempted assault. What he said, there was no assault. And it's like, King, baby, whether y'all want to accept it or not, and whether I liked it or not, because I did not like the fact that Gregory went that route when it could have been a simple conversation from a misunderstanding or whatever the fuck it was. At the end of the day, it could have been something that y'all talked about, period. So for me, he did have a case, whether you liked it or not. Okay. Whether it's attempted assault, whether it was life threatening, whether he felt that his life was threatened by you in some capacity, whatever it was, whether he felt like it was harassment. Let's not act like the man couldn't have came up with something. Police come up with shit all the time to put on a person. So don't think that he couldn't come to the front. They got all these different charges that you could press against a person. So he had something. You can sit there and think that it was nothing all you want because the fans got you geeked and got you thinking that you're so right because they don't like Gregory. But at the end of the day, he has some. He could have put some on your ass for sure. Don't ever get it twisted. He definitely could have. Did I like it? No, I didn't. I didn't think that. I think it's just a conversation. Like, it really don't got to be that deep. Let's not even take it there in my personal. But anywho, King says G tried to challenge him. First of all, once again, you do what Quad do. Y'all be getting down here. Y'all listen to us YouTubers. Y'all get down here. Y'all read into the comments, and the fans got you geeked. In my personal, I don't think that man challenged you in no way. He actually walked up to your ass to dap you, and the fact that you didn't even try to dap him back was a challenge to me. Okay? In my personal, and then you coming back, and I'm glad Greg said like, sir, because King tried to say something like, I guess you got in your feelings when I stood up to you. Like, what the fuck? Do you hear yourself? That I stood up to you? Like, what are you talking about? He didn't do nothing for you to stand up to. Like, yeah, you the one that approached him. I know that Gregory was like, sir, you came up to me. Okay, you the one that tried to bully me. So yeah, I'm gonna let that shit slide. Like, yeah, it's giving open the back up. Let's put the battery pack in it. Let's wind this nigga up. Okay, let's wind this nigga up and have him go over there and approach him. Like, it looked out of place. It was very much so weird. Okay, nobody's telling you not to have the honor and have the back and support the person that you with, but it just was giving awkward. You was trying to force something that wasn't gonna happen. Okay. Anywho, so Andy asked them if they can move forward. Dr. G is like, well, I don't know. Based on his perception of me, you know what I'm saying? Based on his opinion of me, King says, nah, like, I could be open-minded. Like, that's not an issue. You know what I'm saying? I wanted him to know that, at the end of the day, like, now that I'm with Quad, you can't talk to her like that. Right? So then G says, yeah, I hear you and I understand that, but he says, I just feel like anybody that's around anyone that's a party of trying to pretty much ruin my character, like, I can't be around. And I'm like, well, then you're going to have to get off the show. Okay? If that's how you feel, get off the show, because Dr. Heavenly done already sat up there and called you a pedo, right? Okay, Dr. Damon is affiliated with his wife. That's his wife. So if you can't be around a person that's around a party that would try to ruin your career, then you might need to go ahead and exit stage left. Okay. Now, if you try to put that on Quad to make it appear as though Quad tried to ruin your career of some sort, I disagree. I don't think that she tried to do that. in my personal, to me. So whoever you're like, I don't think that when Gregory said that, I don't think it uh made sense for the conversation with with King in that moment. I don't think so. Like, we're talking about y'all, can y'all move forward? And you're over here talking about anybody that's a party or that's connected to a person that's a party of trying to ruin my career, I can't be around. Well, Quad wasn't trying to ruin your career. At least I didn't think so. So what are you talking about? So are you talking about him being friends with Dr. Damon and Dr. Damon being being the husband to Dr. Heavenly, and Dr. Heavenly put out the narrative out there about you? Or whatever, and then Dr. Damon clocking your tea because you tried to sit up there and make it seem like you was overloaded with patients, and some of them were high maintenance. Sir, you're a psychiatrist. All of those patients are high maintenance. I don't give a damn what nobody talking about mentally. Okay, all of them are damn high maintenance. That's the type of job that you signed up for, sir. So I'm a little confusion. No, just a little piece. I am okay. I'm a little confusion. So then, um, let me get this other thing up real quick. All right, y'all. I had to, step away or whatever the case was. I don't even remember where I was at. But anywho, yeah, I think I was saying that whatever Gregory was talking about didn't really fit in that moment. As far as like the whole ruining of the character, all right. Now, Curtis talks about how I guess Gregory apologized to King or whatever the case was. And so they were just wondering if he was gonna apologize to Quad. And G says, yeah, I apologize to him for what I said. He isn't fully open to apologizing to Quad, because he is expecting an apology to come from Quad as well. I don't think he's wrong for that. I don't think he's wrong for that at all. I do think an apology should go both ways in my personal. Eugene says that as a man, he should be the bigger person. And I'm like, I understand that, Eugene. And first of all, can I say my favorite husband of this show really is Eugene. I feel like Eugene be the most sensible all the time for the most part. And I don't think that he was wrong in this. Like, as a man, be the bigger person. But at the same time, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Okay. As a man, as a woman, I don't have to take no higher damn ground. I'm tired. I haven't made it up that hill yet to be that damn high. How about that? How about that? No, I haven't. So, again, I will give one when one is prepared to be given back to me. Okay. And it's really just that damn simple, because for some reason y'all think that it's okay that a person can say, or these ladies can say whatever the fuck they want to say, and can't nobody say anything back to them. Well, if that's the case, y'all must be okay with a motherfucker not offering an apology either. Okay. I scoot back up off me. Don't put your hands on me. Don't put your hands on me. Okay. Don't do that. I don't have to do nothing but stay black and pass away. That's it. I don't have to do nothing. Get off me. Okay. So Dr. G says it's needed. He said it needed to be said. Now that I did cackle, because I'm like, are you okay? Now, granny, it didn't need to be said. You could have, if you say you're a person that knows how quiet gets when she's drunk and stuff, you could have just let her do her thing. But I also understand, okay, just as much as people want to say Gregory went on a tangent and this and that, well, then I'm willing to believe Quiet went on one too, because we've seen her where she's talked for out. Like, just go. Okay. Bravo has even played 17 minutes later, an hour later, and she's still rambling. So if she's drunk and I can imagine how long she goes. Okay. So I understand him getting frustrated after a time frame. Okay. So Simone and Quad talk. And Simone says that she's tired of Quad being the victim and not saying what she did. Like, you always talk about, you always play it out like we doing shit to you, but what are you doing for people to do shit to you? Let's get into that. So then Simone, I didn't like that she would barely let Quad get it out. I'm like, damn, are you gonna let her talk? Like, shut up. Like, are you gonna let her say something? Okay, she's trying to have a conversation. This isn't like, how you gonna say the lady you tired of her playing victim and not saying what she did, and when she's probably about to tell you what she did, you running your mouth like you need to be quiet. God dog. So then, Quad says that, I think Simone says we didn't usher them in or whatever like that, and then Quad says that that they did. Now, granted, again, for me, I feel like the reason Simone may be saying they didn't usher her in because they was already cool with her ass. They just didn't bring her on the show. But I also feel like Quad is right. Y'all did usher her in because despite y'all hanging around her or whatever, just outside of the show, y'all still brought her on to the show in the effort to bring conflict for me. Okay, so there's that. And Simone says she also goes on this is where she pretty much confirms what I had already been thinking, saying that Dr. G been around this entire time. And the fact that he's been around, him and T have also been together even before being married. So she's kind of been around these ladies, okay? Which is why I kind of understand if she may feel a bit betrayed, just a little bit, because y'all act like y'all were cool. Y'all wanted me on the show. You brought me on the show, and now I see that the whole reason y'all wanted to try and play me against Quad or whatever the case is. And it didn't seem like originally T wanted an issue with Quad, because when Quad showed up to the bachelorette party, she said, "Sit right here, Quad." But then Toya wanted Quad to leave, so T obliged her, but she really didn't want no issue with Quad. But then at the same time, shit, these the ladies that brought you on the show or whatever the case is, these the people you've actually developed a relationship with. So maybe they right. Maybe they looking out for my best interest, whatever the hell. Like, let me just tell her to leave, whatever. Okay. So there's that. Quad says she doesn't know where they went wrong, but she will own and apologize. She pretty much told her what Jackie said, in a sense, here's a blank check. Okay, fill in whatever it is you think that I've done wrong, and I apologize for it. But I do feel like there was a slight difference. I feel like Quad was more open to a conversation with Simone than Jackie was more open to a conversation with Quad. Quad apologized for her outburst and said she didn't deserve that meaning when she called her, "You dirty bitch." You shut the fuck. I said it first, okay? So that's what she's talking about. And Heavenly wanted a moment. And it's like, girl, sister, sit your ass back, okay? I wanted that damn choker around her neck to snatch. Get over here and snatch her ass back. Shut up. Shut up. Okay, talking about some. Contessa, I'm so sorry. That girl, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, we have to figure this out, sister. We have to really get it together, because the girls, we can't be fighting an argument like this all day long. Like, I'm so sorry, like, sister, we have to. Girl, she just gave you an opportunity last episode for y'all to really have a conversation, but you wasn't really trying to talk. You was trying to do what you do. Okay, so what are we doing here? All right. You wasn't really trying to hear her out. You didn't want to really take no accountability. And then now you see how emotions are high. Now you want to get in and get a little piece of the pie. Talk about some damn sister. We have to figure this out. You better be glad Contessa was like, I'm open to that. But let me tell you, Contessa don't trust you as far as she could throw your ass. And although I feel like Contessa can throw you very far, I feel like she don't feel like it. She don't feel like throwing your ass that far. So she been to bump you over. She can't trust you like that. Because then what you do, you bring your ass right on back down to this YouTubey ooby. And let me see if I can find that video. Let me see if I could find the video. And shout out to this page. Am I following them? I thought I am following them. Okay. So Housewives from a Housewife. Shout out to them, because when I tell you, they have been collecting a lot of stuff. So shout out to them. Let's get into what Heavenly had to say. And this is why I'm glad, Contessa, I ain't really trying to fuck with you like that, because you sit up there and this is the stuff we talk about and we complain about. And you say, I'm going to say it and I'm going to take it back. All right. I'm just disappointed. Okay. You want to be in a better place with Contessa, but you're not doing anything to be in a better place with her. And for some reason, it seems to me that you rather come down and appease your fans than the friendship that you have with Contessa. And I think that's messed up, especially like Jackie said, knowing how close you guys were. So it makes me feel like you don't value the friendship that y'all had at all. And matter of fact, I mean, you may value Quad's friendship now. You definitely value Jackie's. Because at one point, I feel like you didn't value Quad's friendship at all. But I feel like you're showing to value hers a little bit more. But you ain't stung Contessa. And it's crazy because even Quad has said that you and Contessa were closer than her. And you probably was closer with Contessa than you were with Jackie. So I just think that's messed up. So for you to say that you want to be back in good graces with her, but then you come down to the internet and you say stuff like this, I think this is the video. Let's get into it.
I presented that, and Contessa was like, what? And Quad said, yes, that did happen. He called me, and I told, and it looked like Contessa already knew, but Contessa was already.
All right, let me get back into it.
So I presented that, and Contessa was like, what? And Quad said, yes, that did happen. He called me, and I told, and it looked like Contessa already knew, but Contessa was already pissed with Quad. That's why when he went backstage, looked like she was happy that Simone was saying these things to Quad because all that had already transpired.
Okay, number one, Contessa was not happy that all of that shit was being said to Quad. And I saw people trying to say, oh, Contessa is in agreement. First of all, Contessa was actually in agreement with both of them. When Quad said the fact that y'all ushered them back into this group is a problem, Contessa nodded her head like, bitch, you right. You ain't never lie about that. Okay. Called it out. And then when Simone sat up there and said, you gave us your ass to kiss. Contessa also nodded her head there too, like, yeah, well, you're right. She did do that. So I feel like she was being a neutral party. I don't think she was really on nobody's side. She was just clocking both of y'all because y'all was wrong. And Quad did give y'all her ass to kiss. Like, I that's the energy I got from Contessa. But this is the part I really wanted to play.
I really don't. I know he ain't got no kids, but I'm saying I really don't think he cheated. I really don't. Contessa gaslights you and plays the victim. I'm surprised they didn't play the part about Scott. I guess because Scott being so silent, they really probably want them to come back. But now Scott called Quad about some woman he was at a hotel with. Quad admitted it. She said, he called me up and said, how do I keep this out of the blogs? Quad told him, listen, get your wife. The main thing you want to do is get your wife. And that's how we got in the conversation of she saying, I'm being miserable. Because my answer wouldn't have been your titties after she saying I'm miserable. My answer would have been, you must be miserable because you done filed for divorce 3, 4, 6 times. You done filed for divorce at least 3 times that we know of. Allegedly, one time you lied on camera and did not file. You filed a year later when we wasn't even around. And then you canceled the divorce proceedings right before we started filming, a few months before we started filming. Per Simone. These are Simone's words. She looked it up. She said she got the ask her. I don't think she lied about it. I don't think that. I really don't. I know he ain't got no.
So I feel like one, Contessa finna definitely come into the season with a bone to pick, ready to be on a few of y'all asses, right? I could tell some friction is going on between the two of them based on the fact that Contessa really be wearing like her band sometimes. Okay. So we could tell that there's an issue there, but what I'm really highlighting is the fact that Heavenly says that she wants to be in a better place with Contessa, but then you come down to the internet and you tell us all of this. Why not get that information to the producers and let this shit play out on the show? Just a little piece, okay? Then the fact that you're highlighting he went to Quad to ask Quad, how do I keep this out of the blogs is real interesting for me because it's like, damn, out of all people, why would he go to Quad and ask her that information? Why would he go to Quad and ask her that information? Does he believe that Quad is good at keeping information off the blogs or something like that? Is that what it is? Why would he go to her of all people? Oh, I know Quad connected with this blog, that blog, so let me go over there and talk to her. Oh, Quad know how to keep this out because this right here about her didn't get out. Is that because that's what I'm getting? And yeah, that's what I'm getting from that. And granted, some people may get different things from what Heavenly is saying with just that piece there. But this is why I feel like some of this ain't our business, because then when you have people like myself that think like, damn, well, what you trying to say? Quite good at hiding this, that, it's going to start putting another narrative out there about her. When you was really trying to focus this on Contessa and Scott and try to slick drag them, I feel like damn Quad is catching a damn stray just a little bit from what you saying. So, child, it's a mess. Y'all leave y'all thoughts down there on that. Let me see what else. If there's anything else, I get into, I will, because I didn't listen to everything, but I came across that. It's 2 different things that I am for sure going to get into in just a second. But that's definitely one of them. Okay. So, anywho, Heavenly wanted this moment to apologize to Contessa. Sister, I want us to this and that. Sister, go away from me with this fake. So King is asked about proposing to Quad. All right. The person that has always had so much to say when it comes to Gregory and jumping in on what's normal, what's not normal, having this to say, having that to say, doesn't seem to have much to offer when it comes to the proposal for Quad. All he says is it's no pressure, it's no rush. He says it's coming soon. Okay. So anywho, he didn't sound too sure. In my personal, King did not sound too sure about that proposal. And I don't know, maybe some of that comes with the fact that Quad ain't trying to leave and leave her house and wants him to move into her house, or maybe they got to get one together, get a whole nother house. All right. Maybe that got something to do with it. I don't know. So I feel like while he's saying it's no pressure in my personal, it need to be some pressure. If she down there at Jackie office trying to get some IVF going so she can get ready to have this baby. Yeah. Yeah, it need to be some pressure. What you mean no pressure? No rush. Well, it seemed like the clock is ticking for her to go ahead and have this child. Yeah, get it together. So Quad is um oh, I think Quad said if she wasn't boosted up, would she have said this? Said what she said. She said she wasn't trashing him, but speaking highly of her man. All right. Dr. G agrees that T and King were caught in the middle. Quad also agrees that they were caught in the middle. Dr. G offers an apology to Quad. Quad does accept the apology. Quad says when she speaks on King, it's not a dig at Greg, and also says she's not responsible for his feelings. I do agree with that. All right. Because he may still be butthurt about the divorce or something like that, but I don't know if it really is him being butthurt about the divorce, but something is going on. Because if y'all ain't been together in years, and you know what's interesting, because I feel like for me, what we say about Dr. G, we could also say about Quad. Because it's like people like to say Quad is not bothered by Dr. G or pressed about him at all, but then say Dr. G is pressed about her. And I know I've also kind of gone back and forth on that, but my end conclusion is they both pressed about each other, period. Okay, because if you aren't, we could say what we want to say out of our mouths, but then what are the actions showing us, right? You act like you good, but then you was bothered by having to watch them on the show. Now that Quad is on the show with her partner, you're bothered by having to watch them on the show. Like, y'all must not be over the divorce as a unison. Like, both of y'all, neither one of y'all are over it. And I mean, obviously, that's the issue for King because he's already mentioned that when he said she's not over what took place in that marriage and it's pretty much affecting the relationship just a little bit. He already said that back when they was on the trip. All right. And clearly Gregory's not fully over it. So yeah, child, I don't know, child. Y'all gonna have to. Oh, I hate it for the people caught in the middle, honey. Anywho, so Quad says that she speaks highly of him, whatever. T says that's fair, but I would like for you to not mention my husband. T, baby, you gonna have to get the fuck off the show, okay? I just feel like you and Greg just a little bit are a bit too entitled for me, just a little. All right. Now, sometimes I'm not gonna say your feelings are not validated. At times, however, you can't be on the show and then tell somebody to just not mention your man. Now, you can ask them to not speak to the person and maybe direct any conversation towards me. That may or may not happen. But to say not to mention is crazy. Girl, if it's that much of an issue, just go ahead and have a quiet life. Go ahead, have a quiet life, settle down, sit down somewhere, do what y'all gonna do, okay? Okay? Ain't that how Heavenly said? Okay? So anywho, so Dr. D, no, Quad says Greg filing charges was ignorant and vindictive, and he was trying to get them out from around the group. I do agree. Dr. D was asked about being Team King on this. Dr. D says all the guys understand that you don't talk to their wives crazy. So then Dr. G agrees. He says, yeah, I agree. He says, but I think it was him that said, but when your mate is walking around insulting people, I feel like he was primarily talking about Quad and Heavenly. Definitely including Heavenly in that, right? Hold on, did I lose my place? Let me go back up. Let me go back up. Yeah, so I feel like he was definitely talking about Quad and Heavenly when he mentioned that. Then King jumps in to defend Quad automatically and says, I mean, he should, but at the same time, like, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut your ass up. Talking about some, she didn't insult you. First of all, you do not tell. First of all, you sat up there and said that she could say what she want, but he can't say that to her. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. You can't. That's first. Second, for you to sit up there and tell somebody that they didn't insult them, y'all are fucking crazy. It's okay to not like Dr. G, but y'all gonna have to look at it fair across the board, okay? If not, you're delusional. Care nothing about it. Because if he would have said that to Quad, and told Quad, or even if, what's her name, T would have said that to Quad, he didn't insult you, we all gonna be like, girl, are you crazy? Yes, because you do not get to tell a person whether they were insulted or not. You do not get to tell a person how they felt about something. Those are not your feelings. Now, that may not have been the intent, but you don't get to tell a person whether they was insulted or whether they were offended, whether they was in their feelings. Like, you don't get to do that. So why the fuck, like, hold what you got. Hold what you got, bro, because you putting a little too much on it. And you doing all of this now because you know you sat your ass right there. Watch Gregory tell this woman that she talked too fucking much and you ain't say nothing. Staring this man in his face. I was sitting there making sure he don't say nothing to you and you ain't do nothing. And then the next day want to be like, oh, you said that? Oh, I ain't hear that. Oh, I ain't know nothing about that. Oh, I feel like you owe her an apology then. I ain't know. Oh, what? Go away from us with this, please. Okay. Anywho, you don't get to tell that man that. All right. So Dr. G says, I felt insulted then. That's how I felt. I felt insulted. Okay. Then brings up the baby shower situation. I said, okay, because they definitely tried to skip over that. So Quad says I was just trying to prove that I wasn't against y'all. Lies. Go away from us with this. Okay. Go away from us with this. You definitely was trying to sock it to him, honey, and it didn't even need to be socked. Your presence and you having a man with you that's younger than him, taller than him, whatever the case is, whatever his insecurities are, you had it in that other person. You ain't even need to do all of that. For real, for real. So Quad says that, yeah, she was proving that she wasn't against them. So the guys agree that if a man speaks to your wife sideways, then you're supposed to stand up and speak for your woman. They all agree. But Cecil says, yeah, I agree. However, I don't agree with the point that you get to, say what you say or whatever. Or at least my wife get to say whatever she wants to say to you and you don't get to say shit back. That's what I don't agree with. Okay, because if he feels a way about it, why can't he say something? Now, granted, it does not have to be disrespectful, but I mean, if he want to respond, shit, hey, it is what it is. So then Dr. Heavenly says she doesn't agree. Heavenly says D won't hear she said Dr. Damon won't talk to her. Okay, he won't. First of all, she says he wouldn't, that's what she said. She said he wouldn't hear anything that you're saying because he's too focused on the fact that you told me to shut the fuck up. Okay, so Cecil says, and you're valid, but that's different because we're talking about two exes. Completely different situation. We're talking about two exes that have yet to fully resolve the issues that they got. All right. So they saying he started it when he said we don't care what you think. And I'm like, Quad started it with all the shit she was talking, okay? Because she was drunk. So much so that even Toya was uncomfortable and said something to Quad about it. Like, ooh, they even did confessionals. Like, everybody over there squirming, like, worried about how Dr. G is finna react. Like, oh, my God, da-da-da-da. So, obviously, y'all all felt like she was doing too much. But then now, he the one that started it. Cut it out. So then T says it's a double standard, and she's right. I feel like it's a double standard amongst this cast, and it's also a double standard amongst the viewers. But last year, it wasn't a double standard amongst the cast because all of y'all was so focused on having Quad be the op. Now y'all having to sit with y'all choices and y'all decisions, and then now y'all can't deal with it no more. Crazy. Some part of me does want T to leave the show so they can have themselves to deal with. Because they're going to continue to use you as a punching bag because you're the youngest one, right? And anything that you do is going to be seen as a joke. Some things you do is a joke, though, for real. Like, some of it is childish. It doesn't fit. It doesn't land. Comedic timing is terrible. Like, it's just not there. But, I feel like with being around this group, with time comes growth, and you'll get there at some point. But I'm like, let them punch on each other because, I always feel like this. When you have an ABC situation and B falls out, A and C ain't got no choice but to see each other for who the fuck they is. So at some point, A and C gonna be bound to clash because that's just what it is. All right. So some part of me is like, take a step back, let their ass do their thing. But then I kind of want to see, like, how are you gonna grow from this? Like, when are we gonna see you probably put Gregory in his damn place? Like, don't talk to me like that. What I don't know. When are we gonna see you rise to your moment? Okay. But anywho, so Greg and T discussed the hot mic moment, and Eugene says that everyone would be lying if they didn't say some stuff in the privacy of their own home or whatever the case was. Everybody has said some shit that they may not like, right? I mean, yeah, I hear you, but I don't know. I still didn't like this shit. Okay, I feel like Toya say shit to you all the time she may not like, right? Um, but I don't know. Your energy is just so much different than how G's is sometimes, and I couldn't take it. But anywho, when Heavenly jumps in and tries to say and start making excuses for Damon, somebody he would never talk to her like that, baby. The first thought I thought about was the video they flashback to, and when I tell you it was like on point, like clockwork, baby. When I tell you Miss Hev been getting clocked left and right, it's crazy. Okay, it has been comical. I'm not gonna hold you, baby. I said the flashback for that ass. That meant what Dr. Damon said. When I tell you to do something, you do it. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. I was like, okay, I know that's motherfucking right, girl. Yeah, I always try to put y'all up there on that pedestal like he would never. My husband would never. Girl, and it seemed like you would never be honest sometimes. But anywho, girl, I be wearing Heavenly ass out over here. I know y'all be thinking I don't like it. It's not that I don't like Dr. Heavenly. Because I have a love hate with her. Like sometimes I love her. She's funny. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I feel like she just put too much spice on it sometimes.
I'm
like,
Rich.
Man, just like, dog, like cut it out. Why you lying? Like when she tries to spin certain narratives sometimes, like I just be like, come on. Even Toya had to get down in the comments one time and say, y'all know Heavenly lies. Y'all know Heavenly lies. She just did that this season. She just did it in February. I'm like, exactly. But when people are so focused on disliking a particular person, they lean into the lies. It be like delusional land or something. Like, oh, girl. When the people don't like somebody, they'll believe all of the most salacious things instead of considering the possibility that the alternative could be true. Like, what the fuck? Girl, anywho, that's how y'all brain. That's how y'all wired. So do what you gonna do, child. So anywho, so Dr. G apologizes or whatever. And did Dr. G apologize? He accepts the apology and is I don't know. I don't know how I wrote that, but anywho. Oh no, Dr. G apologized to T, and I was like, blah 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 blah. Wah 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 wah. That's all I heard. So then T says that it wasn't normal behavior and marriage isn't perfect. They are going to have disagreement. So then King jumps in and says it wasn't about a disagreement and that it wasn't normal. So I don't know if she said that was normal or I thought she said it wasn't normal, but whatever it was, King jumps in because he got to jump in. Ain't nobody even talking to you, but you just got to get in there. Okay. And he said it wasn't about a disagreement. He says it wasn't normal behavior. And I'm like, child, the moment they start analyzing your behavior, I want you to be ready. So then T says it's not normal, but then says it's our normal and it's not for you to comment on, King. And I'm like, girl, now listen. Listen, y'all on a reality show, it's slick is for everybody to comment on. Just a little piece, okay? Even if I felt like he was being annoying to me. Listen, it's not for you to comment on, King. I'm a hollering, child. Listen, but I mean, King will have his time if he on the show long enough. Okay, he'll have his time. So then Toya does admit that they've had the same SHI in their marriage, but follows it up with counseling as if she knows whether or not T and Greg are in counseling. So T says that they are, and Dr. Mimi seems to have co-signed that. So I don't know if they're in her office or what, but she co-signed it. So there's that. T says they all can exist. When it was asked, do you think that you all four of you guys can exist? Quad says that, I don't know. I don't want to say that yet because I'm not trying to put me and my man in no compromising position. Basically, that was Quad's way of saying, listen, I don't want her on the show. I don't want Gregory on the show. All right. It's not even so much as, protecting King, all right, from being in compromising positions because it's clear that she and T can get along. The group doesn't want them to get along in my personal. All right. Because of the moment that they had at the end, but I already told you guys, whenever T rises to the occasion and she gets to a place where I can't do this or whatever, I think when that time comes and she needs to go to Quad to discuss or talk or relate, Quad's going to be open to that moment. I see that. You know what I'm saying? Quad may be dramatic at times, in my opinion, and very theatrical, but I do think that there are parts of her where she's a very genuine person. And I think that she would definitely be open to, having that conversation, moving forward, being in a better place. And I'm not going to say be a big sister, but some type of vibe of that sort, with T. Don't know when that time gonna come. Like I said, not while she with Gregory though. That's dead. So anywho, so Toya does admit, like I said, we talked about that. So when Quad says that she doesn't want to put her King in a compromising situation, like I said, I think that's her way of saying they may have to go, because Quad not finna get up and give up her check. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you're gonna have to do something with them folks. So end of the night toast. T tells Quad that she hopes she is happy with King and hopes IVF works out and maybe they can connect on that. If you really feel like you hope she's happy with King, whenever she starts talking about King and discussing him and talking about how amazing he is to her, don't roll your eyes, squirrel. Okay. Quad does receive it, and Quad tells her that if they talk, they can find that they have a lot in common. Simone does a toast, and she does apologize to Quad, and I actually like the apology that she gave to Quad, because she said she didn't take into account what all Quad may have been going through this entire year or however long, and for that, she is sorry. She apologized, and I was like, okay, that was good. Okay, it was a nice little toast. She went around the room and toasted and did all of that. So with this group, they did end on a fairly decent note, outside of Dr. Heavenly going down to the YouTube and creating more friction between she and Contessa. So I would want, and likely Contessa and Simone. So I would think that everybody's likely going to get a contract back to return, because if this was a really good season for them, why would they not invite everybody back? You know what I'm saying? Including T and Gregory. But I would think that it would be up to them to make the decision on whether they want to come back if they feel like this space is, not that great for them. So that's just what it is that I'm thinking, okay? But let me see if there was anything else that I wanted to get into before we get up out of here, all right? Let me slide back over here to the screen and see what some things that were being talked about here. Let's see.
Times and everybody get a bad edit, and there's certain things that they try to protect people. For example, I felt like they tried to protect Dr. G until the end. I felt like they didn't want to talk about the DD and all of that. They told us not to say nothing about it, but now they showing him for who he is. And then that dude got a nerve to get up and sing that song.
I am confused on how they protected him from the DV when him and Quiet had a whole damn sit down and they both sat up there and said he had admitted that the shit she said he did. He did. The shit he said she did, she said she did after your ass did this to me. Okay, so I mean, how would they be protecting him from the DV? I think sometimes we get these networks, we put them too high on a totem pole with expectations, and they don't give a fuck about us. They don't. High key, they care about our viewership, but they don't really care. You go to prison for embezzling money or whatever, anything dealing with money, go to prison. You can come right back to the show. Okay, you got into an altercation, fight. You guys, you and the husband had some shit going on, argument, physical, whatever. Okay, he's back. Like, okay, you done sat up here and threw a glass that cut this lady leg, whatever. Okay, we're gonna have you guys back. All right. So it's very rare that they draw the line. All right. I don't know what it was about Kandi that made them draw the line. Maybe it was a lawsuit of some sort. I don't know. But when it came to Kandi and Phaedra, I feel like that's the only time I really saw them take a stance where it was like, okay, we're gonna have Kandi on the show. Phaedra, we'll let you sit back. They don't be giving a damn. What else is going
This
on?
song it's very telling. It's very telling. Y'all, this song.
Do you believe the song?
It's very telling.
Oh, okay. Why would Quad? Okay, let's see.
The thing I saw when I woke up this morning was Dr. Heavenly's son has been arrested for assaulting a police officer.
You know what? I saw that too, because I'm in these YouTube streets too, and it scared the shit out of me, because you never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. I'm like, damn, I got two boys. Now, I pretty much could think about which one it would have been, but I called both my boys, and I feel like if you assaulted a police officer, you would be in jail. Now, neither one of these brother Tucker say got no money. So, you know what I mean? They might try to keep some shit from me, but if they did, they would have been in jail. Both my sons are well and fine, and I called them, and I was like, listen, what's going on? Everybody good? So we good. So we good over here. Praise God. Y'all scared the shit out of me with that, because it scared me. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I woke up to this
That
morning.
raised my boys better than that. You don't touch no cop. Like, you don't even argue with a cop. Do what he say and let the mama handle it. That's what I would tell him.
So this was fake news.
I have not had anything about that. I ain't heard nothing about it. I called both my boys as soon as I heard it. You know what I'm saying? And both of them are well and fine.
Well, how it was answered was she didn't hear anything about it. I don't know. She called both her boys. How the question is being answered is as if this is recent. And I did see a document on it, and I wasn't even gonna talk about it, to be honest. But now that she's addressing it with someone, I'm like, okay, we'll chat about it. And the records were from 2023. But here's the thing. I don't know if that young man did touch a cop. You know, we get into body cam footage over here, and sometimes cops don't be telling the truth, you know? But either way, people may feel like that's a part of a storyline. Bring that into the front. Talk about that, you know? But I don't know if he did that or not. Even though he had that charge out there. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But some people presented some records, I can't remember, from some county in Georgia, and it was from like 2023. All right, so people were feeling like this was lies, but I could have sworn she addressed this again over with Carlos. So I'm not sure which video, but let's see.
Cut out, like, and that does frustrate you, right? When it's like it's level 10, they don't see it, and then they don't really understand.
Editing.
You know what's so funny to me, Dr. Heavenly? People are always trying to accuse Dr. Damon of cheating on you.
Let me see. Was it this?
As you know, I've always said this. I think it's the best show on Bravo that people aren't watching. And the good thing is this. I have to take that back. I'm going to take it back because people are actually watching it and loving it. And we're not here to talk about who's the reason for it because we're not shady like that.
Hold on, y'all. I wanted to get to the one that I wanted to.
There's a rumor floating around that your son allegedly got arrested and you had no idea about it and it turned out to be true. Is that the case? What can you tell us about that?
Well, I told you that this afternoon. When it first came out, the people told me that my son was arrested. That scared the shit out of me, right? They scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my God, let me call him. I called all my boys. Now, when you said one got arrested, I knew which one you had to been talking about. So I called that one first. And I said, no, mama ain't, no, I'm doing fine. I'm good. Okay, good. And then so I called my baby one. I knew he was. So I said, no, I'm good. And I said, it was a lie. It's a lie out there, right? So it's long story short, it kept coming. And then I looked at the thing and I said, damn, they got the right birth certificate and everything. I said, Daddy, do you see what they saying about my baby boy? Do you see what they saying? And Damon looked at it and he said, well, baby, I said, is this some truth to it? Now, when I first saw it, the people said 2025. So I was like, okay, it was years ago.
Yeah, 2023.
Damon never told me. He handled that shit, and that's why I loved him, because he knew I would have been upset. He went down there, he talked to the people. Damon, my son never got charged with anything. It was a big misunderstanding. And Damon took care of it, went down there, talked to the people like he got some damn sense. Took care of all of it. It went away, and he never told his wife because he knew his wife would have been upset about it.
One thing Heavenly gonna do, baby, is spin a fucking story. Okay, that lady got a mouth on her, honey. That bitch knows how to spin a story, and she knows how to make you guys believe it. But what I will say is, I wouldn't be surprised if it happened like that, to be honest. Like I said, the charges was for him assaulting an officer, and we already know when we watch different videos or whatever the case, they'll say different shit, okay? Resisting arrest, and a person don't even be resisting. They be laying on the damn ground. They just saying, ouch. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get a little comfortable. Like, dang, and stop resisting. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a misunderstanding, as she's saying. But in that moment, it also still gave me the vibe that Heavenly is a good storyteller. All right. But that's really all that I got. I don't really got too much more. I just wanted to come and bring you guys a little piece of a tea and a bit. Leave your thoughts and comments down below for everything that you guys have. I'm Jami, that's me. And of course, I'm going to catch you guys in the next one, honey. Bye-bye.
Yeah, tell him I preach to the choir. Stand on my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invade the gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim on a trip to Florida.